Hello, everybody, and welcome. I'm Sophia Lucia Parola with Garden State Film Festival. This year, from March 21st through March 24th, 2024, you can check out the 22nd annual Garden State Film Festival. Yes, 22 years. We are back in Asbury Park, New Jersey, and Cranford, New Jersey. This year, we got over 200 films from 14 countries, all various topics, types of films, various levels. We got features, pilots, music videos, shorts, student films, you name it. It's going to be a great year once again. And here with me, we are talking about the short, homegrown high school film, Me vs. Me. Here to talk with me about it is this wonderful filmmaker, Rodriguez. Lucas Rodriguez, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, Lucas.
Hello, hello, hello. How are you?
I'm doing fabulous. How are you?
I'm very good, very good.
Amazing. Thank you for making Me vs. Me, for getting accepted in the Garden State Film Festival, and for taking the time out to talk to us about it today.
Of course, of course. It's fine.
So, before we get into it,
Mhm.
Lucas, tell us about you and the titles you have in this film.
I go to East Brunswick Magnet School. I'm now a senior. I'm in the digital film program run by instructor Louis Libitz. That's my guy right there. It's my inspiration for sure. For Me versus Me, I was the director and main actor for it. I also really made the creative choices in the film. I'd say cinematographer, but my camera operators, I had two or three. Being Eleni Ruiz, Nicholas Schreiber, other people who are credited in the film as well. But yeah, I also wrote um, the voiceover that goes over through the film. Yeah, and it's more of a personal type of voiceover and monologue that I wrote myself for a period of time. But yeah.
Wow. Amazing. I mean, amazing job. Well done. Wearing all those hats and just completing a film in the first place, and then it got
Mm,
accepted in the Garden State Film Festival. So shout out to you and your inspiration, Lewis.
thank
Obviously, he's
you.
doing a fantastic job over at that school. Tell me about Me versus Me. What is this film about?
It's I describe it as an ideology that a lot of people that I share about, your biggest competition being yourself, and how
Mm,
when life throws you troubles, and when there are challenges in the way, you're in competition with yourself in order to get over those things and to help the other people who need your help, but not only are going through their own battle as well, but just
mhm.
trying to find a way to overcome yourself, I guess, and the challenges that you're faced with in the current moment.
I love that. And what we hear and see in the film, that this is you. You wrote this. That's
Mhm.
your voiceover, and
Yes.
you're in the film.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So, what was the inspiration? Like, what made you make this film? Was it a school project? Was it something that just came to you? Was it, yeah, tell me about how it started.
It was a school project actually, believe it or not. It was a lighting exam we had to do, or like a project, a mini project.
Did you say
Um,
lighting exam?
yeah.
Okay, we're going to talk about the lighting because I loved it.
Okay,
Sorry.
yeah,
Sorry to
yeah,
interrupt. Keep
yeah.
going.
But that's what it originally started off as, and during the time I had been going through a little situation, but I was it was okay. I just felt like I needed to kind of grow and accept myself for who I am, and kind of just um also just be okay, and self confidence, have self confidence within myself. So I
Mhm.
think that was something that I wrote down to just be like, hey, you gotta get through this, you gotta do this, you know what I mean? And yeah, it did originally start off as a lighting concept though. And
Wow.
I actually did write the monologue, or I changed it up a bit in the final version, but originally I had a monologue as well, talking about me versus me. Yeah.
Mm. Okay, so yeah, so much to talk about there. Let's start off with the lighting because it was definitely one of my questions. The shots you have in this are really gorgeous, and specifically the lighting.
Yeah.
So so yeah, talk to me about your DP and
Mhm.
creating the shots. Was it a shot
Yeah.
list? Was it very, very strict, or you kind of went with the flow? What was finding
Yeah.
the look of this film?
I'd say it was a bit of both, but my DP, Lenny Ruiz, definitely did help me a lot. I was more creative side, but she was like, maybe we should tweak this here and there, and I was like, you know what, yeah, you're right. Especially with a couple scenes, even there's one where I kind of have I'm sitting on top of a heater, believe it or not, but that's yeah. But
That's
it's
not part of it.
it has the skyline, not skyline, but there's a background of the school,
Yep.
with the blue sky and whatnot. I think it's the opening shot, if I'm not mistaken. But
Mhm.
there's that. We I wanted to use kind of natural light as much as I could, but
Mhm.
also just making the lighting feel natural in a way, but
Mhm.
also kind of warm, and in certain senses there are dark scenes too. like the ending shot, with me like kind of like against myself in a way.
Mhm.
But like I'd definitely say though that like me and her definitely do work hard on the lighting and trying to get everything like set the way we like did on purpose, and like just making everything perfect as we can.
Right. Lucas, I feel so silly asking you this because I even rewinded your film a little bit.
Mhm.
This was all you? Did you have anyone else cast in the film, or in every single shot, that's you? I was
No,
like, "Does he have a twin
yeah, every
brother?" Or
no,
just
no, no,
you?
it's me. Yeah, it's me. Yeah.
Movie magic, man. I will that is insane. Literally was one of my questions was the cast. So
Mhm.
that's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's
So
just
what
me.
was it like starring in something not only so personal that you wrote, but just something that you're also directing? What was that like for you?
Mhm. I think it was, when you have like a certain image in your head that you feel like you know how to give a quote unquote performance, or what you way the way you want it done. I felt like there was no better person but me to kind of just perform that and like do it,
Mhm,
and just like even in like the simplest things, like just mannerisms and stuff like that, the
mhm.
way like the expressions you give, like I just know what I was looking for, and I felt like the only person I knew how to do that was me. So
Right.
yeah.
And did you find it challenging or really easy directing yourself? Like how did that work? Did you have to look at the like was it back and forth or you kind of trusted you have an AD? Like what was it like directing yourself?
No, it was definitely a lot of back and forth. I remember, when shooting certain scenes, I would like, "How did that look?" or whatever. Like, let's look back in the take, and I would constantly go back and forth. Like, I don't really like my positioning here, or I don't
Mhm.
really like the way that came off. Like, let's just try and do it again. But challenge in a way, but also you're working with yourself, so you kind of know what to tweak in a way and how to give like, I guess, personal notes like in your head to like where you can perform better.
Right. So what did you learn from making Me Versus Me? And quickly, is this have you made films before this or is this kind of like a
Yeah,
directorial
I had
debut?
maybe films before this, but this is like my first, I'd say, like well done or like really like
Uh-huh.
polished film, I'd say.
Right.
But I learned a lot though. I learned that like planning is everything. That's number one. And also taking your time in a way and just making sure that things are right and what you want to say is like well thought out, but
Mhm.
also has like purpose within the imagery, within like everything else. And just making sure everything can speak volumes in a way.
Yeah. I love that. I mean, this film really did speak volumes. I was surprised how much it like hit me even. It was a very relatable concept, really universal. I think anyone can relate to this and has been there many times in their life.
Mhm.
So w- since this film was so meaningful to you and personal, obviously, do you feel that you came out of it kind of like a different person? Like, how do you feel not only being done and
Mhm.
getting it all out there? That's cathartic, just putting your art out there, but also like watching it. Like, do you feel kind of like a
Yeah.
different person than when you started this?
Yeah, entirely, exactly, actually. I remember when seeing the full product, like, I was just like, "Wow, like,
Mhm.
I really did change." Yeah, like, I it's like that's a different person. I don't know who that is anymore. Like, I don't know.
Wow.
It's kind of like it's like a washing almost, like kind of like a cleansing in a way. It's just kind of like,
Mhm.
oh, like I remember, like I even like I look back on it now, I'm like, oh, that's yeah, that was the old me, and kind of just like the new me, how I am now. I'm just a different person, I'd say.
Yeah, and you have a beautiful without giving anything away, you have a beautiful shot in the film that really resembles that. That was one of the things I had to rewind because you don't cut and it is like washing in a way and you come
Mhm.
out you look like a different person. I
Yeah,
really can't believe this was you. I
yeah,
really
yeah.
thought you had a twin brother or something. It's so
No, it's
silly
me.
now. That's crazy.
Mhm.
That's amazing. So, I mean, it definitely leads me to my next question. Why do you think it's so important for people to share stories and especially young artists to put out their work and share their voice and make stories? What do you think about that?
I think expression is very important in general. I feel like everyone should express how they feel about really anything, and I think that when done the right way, I feel like you can speak to an audience and you can give an audience inspiration, like for them to express how they feel, but also how to like convey themselves, if that
Mhm.
makes any sense. But I feel like expressing and letting your mind go free is like really enjoyable to a lot of people. I know especially it is for me, but and a lot of times it has to like go through with like feelings. It's like some people's therapy, they just kind of that's the way they do it. They just express themselves through film, through writing, through whatever it is. I think like, making art is important. I think that everyone should express how they feel about a certain ideology or whatnot, because it's important to get your opinion out there sometimes and make it people look at a different perspective.
Absolutely. And I love that you said it could be therapy because art really is so therapeutic, just letting it out there. But also, you never know who's watching it and who you could be helping watching it as well. So I hope you help some people. You never know who you're going to relate from people watching Me versus Me. So that's really cool. And how did I know this is a homegrown film? You're in New
Mhm.
Jersey, made this in New Jersey. Now it's premiering at New Jersey's first premier indie film festival in Asbury Park, New Jersey. How does it feel having Me versus Me screen at Garden State Film Festival?
It's an absolute honor. I'm so glad I've gotten into Garden State. Homegrown, obviously. I remember first hearing about Garden State too, and I'm like, "Whoo! Imagine being there. Imagine being there. It'd be crazy, right?" And now we're here. I don't know how, but we're here. It's just really truly an honor, and it's like it's mind boggling sometimes. I'm like, "Oh wow, we're really
Mhm.
doing this. We're really in this moment." Yeah, it's honestly just a blessing from God. Yeah, it's great.
And I mean, I love your energy. So I want to hear what you have to say about this. I think it's one of the things I love about Garden State Film Festival, not just showing filmmakers from all around the world and the networking aspect, but they have so many categories, one of them being a whole block of high school films,
Mhm.
really letting young artists share their voice, get seen, continue to grow, network with other artists. So how does it feel being screening at this high school film block and you get to meet other young artists? Like what do you think about why is it so important that Garden State Film Festival? I don't even know what I'm asking really, but like just how do you feel about Garden State Film Festival having this category and getting to share young artists like yourself?
It's very exciting, and I'd say it's also like very welcoming, but also like very appreciate. I feel very appreciative for it because I feel like a lot of like younger minds now, I feel like they kind of keep a lot of stuff inside and don't really express themselves as much for like an image sort of. But to
Mhm.
also see other people's like art forms and like their work, it's great because I want to see what they're trying to express to me, what they're trying to tell me, what they're trying to, you know, um uh try and just make and speak to me. And I
Yeah.
think that Garden State Film Festival having like the high schooler block is great because just I get to see more perspective. I get to see what people my age are thinking,
Mhm.
and how just that can affect me and my work going forward, or vice versa. Meeting people and seeing their takes on things is great. It's great.
See, I knew you would have some amazing answer. I'm happy I asked that. I love that, seeing different people's perspective. And I really love that you made Me versus Me and we're able to share something so personal and vulnerable. And I give you so much credit for that because it's not an easy thing to do. And it obviously went amazing. So let me
Thank
tell everyone watching how you can see Me versus Me. It'll be screening Sunday, March 24th at Garden State Film Festival. Film block starts at 9:15 at Berkeley Hotel. Definitely come check it out, meet this amazing filmmaker because Lucas, you're going to be there, right?
Of course, of course.
Amazing. So you guys can be there too. Get your tickets at www.gsff.org/tickets. You can get tickets to any screenings on there. You could also get the very popular Parkway Pass, which will get you in all of the screenings. There are going to be plenty of amazing things this weekend. So definitely come check it out on our website. And we'll see you at the 22nd Annual Garden State Film Festival, everybody. Thank you, Lucas, again, and congratulations.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.